intersection of my deepest needs. You were there, I knew, now you know.
Hi there, Cancer. How are you guys doing? I really hope that this video finds you well. Welcome to your weekly January 2020 reading. Back with me again, Anisa from the Inner Stereo. For those of you who are new to my channel, hello. And for those of you who have been here a long time, welcome back. Happy New Year, Cancer. What did you guys do on your New Year's holiday? Didn't do much. Flood in Jakarta, and then after that my daughter went to surgery. But how was yours? Looking like? Okay, High Priestess, Two of Cups in reverse, and also the Hermit card. Wow, you have two major arcana going on with your overall energy. Major arcana is a big thing in tarot, you know, because it's really talking about either divine intervention or God's intervention. And with those two major arcana here, it means that this month of January is such a big deal for you. Why? Because it's kind of like teaching you or forcing you to detach yourself a little bit from the relationship and take care of yourself first before you take care of others. Especially with the fact that, you know, we have all these stelliums and we have Saturn-Pluto conjunctions, all those stuff happening in Capricorn, which is directly oppositing you. So you feel kind of like quite torn between being yourself or being, you know, what Capricorn or Saturn is forcing us to do. But it's kind of like a month for you to take a break from being so subjective and having a very zoom in perspective of the relationship in general. So what does the universe want, or what the card is saying in here, is that take a step back a little bit and take care of yourself, because I feel like you were so busy handing out your cups, you were so busy focusing your attentions, your energy, you were so busy worrying, you were so busy questioning about things, about other people, up to the point that you forget to take care about your own cups, about your own emotional well-being, about your own emotional fulfillment. You know what I mean? Yeah, there has been like a falling out in here with the Two of Cups, because you feel that you and your partner has not been seeing each other eye to eye, or emotions to emotions. But you know, rather than taking that quite personally and hurting yourself with it, it's like a lot better for you to just detach and go probably to a retreat, or go to like a cave or something, or just have time with yourself and try to understand yourself like a lot. Where does this narratives come from and all that? So what is challenging this relationship sector is that you have the Tower card and you also have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So you feel, I mean, the cups here are all in reverse. So you've been feeling that in your relationship sector, there is no collective happiness in here. It's either it's all about them being happy, their happiness, their own emotional fulfillment, or it's always going to be about yours. Because overall challenge, different than the overall energy, which is obviously yours. The overall challenge never really can pinpoint who is doing what to who. But it's just like the overall challenge of the relationship, you know what I mean? So it could be literally be you doing this to them, or them doing this to you, but that is the overall challenge of the relationship. The lack of collective happiness in here. One person is just so focused on their own emotional fulfillment. Or it's just like two people who like needed like a little bit of a break to have more time with themselves so that they could refill their cups again, because both of you maybe are in a Nine of Cups in reverse position, so that when you kind of like meet each other or communicate again, or spend some time with them, you guys going to be able to celebrate your Two of Cups in the next time in upright position. Yeah. So what's the second one is that you have the Tower card. So it's either there has been something that was happening, like the Tower moment, like it was really all of a sudden situations just changed just like this, and there is this lack of acceptance from somebody, and they're still kind of like clinging on to it and still kind of like questioning and torturing themselves with it. Or it could be Tower card if it's overall challenge. It could also talk about bottle up emotions, bottle up emotions, the inability to fully communicate or express how we're feeling, what we're thinking, what we're feeling. Like if they were disappointed with you over a small matters, they just didn't say it to you, but then, you know, it's like a time ticking bomb. One day it could explode. So there might be also resentment taking place in this relationship sectors of you. So in the past, you kind of like felt that you and this person is growing distant and distant. And it seems as if like every time you try to offer them help or every time you try to do something for them, they're blocking it. They're like the Four of Cups. So you're like the little child over here and they're kind of like blocking it. They're so busy looking at the Three of Cups. On a positive note though, for the majority of you, I'm not going to say it all, but for the majority of you, whoever it is that you're dealing with, if you're only dealing with one person, whoever it is that you're dealing with, they're so busy focusing on other areas of their life. Therefore, they're turning their backs on the relationship first because it's either they're busy pursuing their goals, their ambitions. It's like they have this, or some of your partners might be like drawing, what do you call it, a vision board or something. Like they're really like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. Okay, I have this problem. How do I solve this? Is by doing this, by doing this, by doing this. So they're turning their backs on a relationship for a while just so that they could accomplish all of the things or their plans. Yes? And I feel like for some of you too, like you're aware of whatever problems that they're having, but one of the reasons why they are basically turning their backs on you is because you guys, they see you as being Emperor card in reverse. They see you as being overbearing. They see you as being kind of like quite domineering, or yeah. And you're like, wow, like I'm giving this relationship my top priority and you're not. Basically, relationship is not their top priorities in the past. And they could also be seeing you doing like a little bit of you probably throw tantrums on them too, because that's like what the Emperor card in reverse do. You know, when they get too impulsive, they lash out and you. But the thing is that they're turning their backs on you, so it hurts you because it's like you're talking to a brick wall, you know. My boyfriend has a Mars in Aquarius, and every time I'm angry with him, it's like, yeah, so what else? Like, he doesn't say it in a challenging way or whatever, but it's just like he needed time to think about what I'm saying, you know what I mean? But like when you're angry, you don't want to be treated that way. So I feel you. The Emperor card in reverse also talks about boundaries, you know, because that's what an emperor does. They create boundaries, they create borders, you know, in order for their citizens to be safe and all that. So if you're really done with this person, you guys are making like an extraordinary walls against them that you really don't want them to enter ever again. You probably are sending them text messages or whatever that is, like, you cannot come near me, like that again. So what is going on in the now? So if you guys are only dealing with one person, this person is going to try to get a reactions out of you by causing something. I don't know what that is, but you have the Five of Wands in here. So it's like a test almost, like, or like an opener. That will get you. I'm not going to say react, but that's going to get to you at some point. But why are they doing this? It's just so that They could be the Empress, and an Empress is a receptive type of card. It's like, look, I'm available again. You know, I'm not as busy as I was in the past. They will find ways, but not in a nice way. You know, it's just, it's like, let's see. It's like, ooh, they suddenly texted you and says like, oh, I know you've moved on from, you know, with this person, right? And you're going to be happy about it because you're like the Ace of Cups. Like, oh, wow, you're still following me. You're still stalking me. But they're just going to be doing the small little things that's a bit childish. But it kind of works. Because you're like the Ace of Cups, because it makes you hopeful again. It makes you, yeah, it makes you good again. And they're like going to be like a receptive type of person again here with the Empress card. I'm available now, not like I was in the past. And you guys are going to take that with the Hierophant card in there because you've always had your heart for them. May makartuma sa depan. So let's see what happens in the future. Ten of Pentacles, beautiful, isn't it? So all is well, eventually. Eight of Pentacles, so they're going to be putting the persistent work and the consistent work in order for you guys to have a much more, it's no longer the Ten of Cups, you know? It's no longer just you feeling this emotional happiness emitting from them, or you having a relationship that both of you are happy and all that, but it's much more about the tangible and practical things. If you've been having problems in your relationship due to those things, they're going to sort it out in the future. Two of Wands, Knight of Cups, beautiful. Cancer. Wow, Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles. Congratulations. This has to be like the best reading this month I've done so far. Congratulations. Pity I always resonate with Aquarius instead of Cancer. I wish I was a Cancer. Okay, but anyway, yeah, I mean, if you guys are dealing with one person, you know, this person is then going to take into a leadership position of this relationship, but you gotta allow them to be. You gotta let them, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta let them to do that. Just observe how they're thinking, how they're feeling, how are they going to take the leadership positions in this relationship and all that. Just observe, because you're going to be happy about it, because they really are going to put in the work in order for you guys to have the Ten of Pentacles. And where do you stand in here is all you got to do is just do the small matters, which is Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So give them the words of affirmations that they're looking for. Give them the praises every time they do good things for you. Knight of Pentacles, every time they try to help you in small matters, like probably they were fixing your tires or whatever that is, just deliver them like a glass of water. They're okay with that. You know what I mean? And that's enough to make them happy. All those small things. Just let them take care of the big things, because I feel like you guys are dealing with somebody who is much more like a conceptor and somebody who actually has the ability to take on that leadership position. Okay, so you don't have to worry about a lot of things. Just refill your own cup before all of these things happening, because like it's starting to open its door right now, because this is the current energy. Okay, and that's what goes on in the future. Probably there's still going to be a bit of awkwardness, because both of you just don't know how to communicate normally with one another again. But then again, you have the Four of Wands and also the Wheel of Fortune in here. So it's like the situations, the environment, and everything is just going to be supporting this relationship to create a much more stable and steady foundation that both of you can cherish permanently or in the long run, as long as it goes this way. Okay, so that is if you guys are dealing with one person. So if you guys are dealing with one person, your reading ends now. Right, so now let's move on. If you guys are dealing with two people, meaning that if you guys are only dealing with one person, your reading ends a few seconds ago. All right, so if you guys are dealing with two people, I feel like by the end of the day, you guys are going to take a step back and reassess this whole situation completely and ask yourself, which person actually brings me, or who is capable of giving me the best, you know what I mean? Because although you feel things for these two people, how they made you feel is a bit different. With person A is just somebody who takes on this leadership position. You know, when things are great, they're so passionate with you. But the thing about this person is that they're never idle. They're always on the go. They're always busy doing something. They have a lot on their plate, and you feel that, you know, those things that they need to take care of, whether it be their children, their families, their family issue, or friends, or works, or what have you, is one of the obstacles that is blocking you and them, you know, that keeps on making you guys further and further and further apart. And sometimes you feel when you guys are in their company, you're lonely, because it's like you have to queue before you even get to them, you know, paying attention to you or taking notice of you and all that. So, and even if you try to communicate this with them, they will not take this quite well, because they're like the Five of Wands, you know what I mean? And yeah, but by the end of the day, the thing about this person is that, I mean, everybody has their own specialties. You know what I mean? A King of Wands is so great at making plans. A King of Wands is so great at taking a zoom out pictures, and they're so passionate in achieving their goals in order for you guys to live a much more livable life, or for you guys to live a much more, you know, better life in terms of practicalities, or in terms of, you know, mundane basis. You know what I mean? Like, this person is not really the one who cares about the Ten of Cups, about the collective happiness, about what makes you happy and what makes me happy, but they're much more about the reality, you know what I mean? Like the practical things. It's very, very earthy type of energies in here, although it's a King of Wands, but their goals is to have a Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, but you admire this about them, you know what I mean? Like, you like the fact that they're so like that. So in the future, you know, you guys are just going to be like the Nine of Cups, and they're going to be like the Ten of Pentacles. So they're going to be taking care of that thing that I told you earlier, and you guys like, wow. But in the meantime, when they're still busy doing those stuff, of course you feel a bit lonely. Of course you feel like a lot distant with this person. So what happened with person B? Person B is just somebody who has the same desire in the relationship with you. This person has the same emotional need as you are. And for you, this person is such a fresh of breath air, because wow, you're so soft, you're so kind, you're so sensitive. You are able to provide me with this TikTok of unconditional love and emotional talk that we can talk on a daily basis. You're so nurturing, you're so this, you're so that. So it's like a good feel for you, such a breath air for you. You know, in comparisons to person A, who is always so earthy, this person is just, let's love, you know. I care about you. It's an act of service. It's a nurturing. It's a taking care. It's that emotional bondings and all that. And with this person, you could actually see with them, you could have a traditional relationship or a traditional commitment with this person. And you like their consistency. You like that persistency. Something that you cannot feel from person A. And with this person, with person B, it's like before even they ask you to help, you'd be so willing to help them simply because you kind of like feel this, wow, you're so different, you're such a breath of fresh air. So again, by the end of the day, you know, leaving January, you guys are probably going to be reassessing the situations, like which one do you actually really want to choose? Whether you want to stick with King of Wands, who is always so distant, but they care about the tangible future. They care about the big things. Or you want to be with person B, who cares about the small things. All right? But small things that actually makes you feel happy. Small things that actually makes you feel cherished and cherish every moment that you're spending with them. All right? So I think that is it for my reading for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find tons and tons of clarity through this video. And I'll see you guys next week again. All right? Bye-bye, guys. Have a great day. I love you.
If I love you and you love me, let's plant a seed, watch it grow into a tree, baby. Why don't we grow some nectarines, baby? Why don't we grow a little